Good morning. Greg Flanagan here from Fridays with Flanagan. Every Friday at 11 a.m., we coming to you live from Charleston, South Carolina. It's a beautiful day here in Charleston. It's a little bit misty. I think we're going to be around 65 degrees, which is great. If you're in country, that's Fahrenheit. If you're not, that's in centigrades. And I have no idea how to do that conversion. So just figure it's a nice day out, okay? You don't need a jacket. All right. So today we're going to be talking about first, I want to say thank you to everybody that comes in and watches, not only live, but the rebroadcasts. We're starting to make some headway here. We're starting to get a crowd following, which is great. It's exactly what I'm looking to do. You know, one of the things with Fridays with Flanagan, it's our free voice to go out to everybody on a Friday, help those agents that are struggling. I call them no cap, low cap, and even guys that are capping and making money. You know, as we talk on a higher level. Everybody needs a little help sometimes. And a lot of people are afraid to ask for that help. And that's what Fridays with Flanagan is for. It's to help you along. So if you have any questions about what we're doing, or if you need an answer about something, just drop it in the chat. Send me a personal message, greg@flanaganhometeam.com. Or no, greg@poweronwithmastermind.com. And if you have any referrals, send them down to me too. We've got a nice got a 3-person team right now. We're looking to pick up 4 and 5. And the market's fabulous here. So let's get right into what we're talking about today. So over the week, we've had a couple of people, you know, buyers are numerous. Everybody's got buyers. They're all over the place. Normally in our market, we have 6,200 real estate agents in our market right now. We sold last year 21,000 homes. 21,000 homes. That's a crazy number. Problem is we only have 1,163 listings on the market as of this morning. And there's just not enough houses to go around. What we need to do is we need to start focusing again on listings. If you haven't focused on listings, now is the time to start cutting your teeth on listings and how to do that. And people come to me over and over again and say, Greg, what's the best place to find listing leads? No such thing. No such thing. I mean, you can put out there, you know, what's your home worth? And, well, they can get all that stuff. There's really no value to anybody. You can go to Zillow. You can go to Realtor. You can go to Redfin and Remine. And you can get that just about anywhere you look on the web. There's nothing there to differentiate yourself in the marketplace for people that are looking to sell their home. Or, you know, better yet, people that are looking to sell their home, but they don't have a path on how to do it in this market. Understand that? How many people have you run into that say, I would love to move, but I'm not going to put my house on the market until I find another house? Well, if there's no houses on the market, that's a catch-22. You're constantly going to have that push and shove. And I think there's a way to do this. That path to selling a house is one way. And we'll talk about that at a later date. What we're going to talk about today is how to find those people, how to find those leads. You know, a great real estate person once said it's about a triangle: leads, listings, and leverage. And the first part of that triangle, the base, are leads. And if there's no way to get a lead, you know, most people look at leads and go, I got to pay for leads. You don't have to pay for leads. It comes through conversations. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do 5 tips to start a real estate conversation with anyone. It's my belief, and I've known this for years, that, you know, everybody has a real estate conversation going on in their head. They just don't verbalize it. What do I mean by that? You know, mom's sitting home and mom's dealing with the kids now through COVID. Let's take COVID, for example. Mom's sitting with, boy, what would I do if I had this extra room? What would I do if I could send Johnny there? What could I do? What could I do? What could I do? If I had a basement, if I had another garage, if I had a frog, for people who don't know what a frog is, finished room over garage, what could I do? That conversation is constantly going through somebody's mind. You know, it's a great market. How much equity do I have in my house? Can I move up in my house? That's another conversation that they're having in their mind. It's our job as professional real estate agents and salespeople. I'm going to use that nasty term of salespeople. There's nothing wrong with salespeople. It's one of the oldest businesses in the world, as long as you do it ethically, right? I'm going to use my knowledge of conversations and extract that conversation from the mind of whoever I'm talking to. Everywhere I go during the day, I have my sales goggles on. I'm looking for people. I'm looking for an opportunity to talk to somebody about real estate. How do you do it? There's tips and tricks. You flip your name badge upside down. The guy comes over and goes, "Hey, your name badge is upside down." "Oh, thank you very much. I must have been looking at it." It's a conversation starter, right? That's a trick. It's my name badge is upside down. It stops them, has them talk to you. Now they started the conversation, so you're more open to have a conversation. "Hey, thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. I must have gotten up on, the right side of the bed and just looked down and put my." It's a conversation. "How you doing? By the way, what's your name?" And you start the conversation. So the first thing you got to do is to get out in public. And I know it's difficult right now, but you have to engage people, right? How do you engage people in with a mask on? Here's my mask. It's always there, right? So we're talking to people. By the way, it's my favorite football club. We're talking to people. We can't see their mouth movement, and that's usually a visible sign. Here go my earplugs. That's usually a visible sign of, are they smiling at me? Are they mad at me? Oh. Hey, how you doing? So let's go out and find people. Where are they going to be? Where are they going to be? Anybody? Drop it in the chat. If you can tell me where it's going to be, drop it in the comments. I would love it. Little discourse. They're going to be at your kid's game. They're going to be at your kid's football game. They're going to be at their soccer game. They're going to be in line at the grocery store. I know a lot of people are in the bubble, right? I know my daughters work within a bubble. They have certain friends that they hang out with because everybody has the same outlook on the virus. We aren't going out. We're not. So they keep this bubble. And there's 15, 20 people in there. Well, those 15 or 20 people may have another bubble that have 15 or 20 people in it. So you start talking, you just have a conversation. And I was supposed to have another person on here with me, so this might get a little tedious, but we're going to go with that. So get out and look for people. Keep your sales goggles on. Get out and look for people, and then have the conversation. Greg, what kind of conversation should I have? If you're familiar with the Ford conversation, anybody familiar with Ford? F-O-R-D, right? This is the way to start a conversation with people you don't know, anybody you want to engage. My personal strength is being able to walk in a room and take the wallflower on the other side of the room and have a conversation with them. So I find those wallflowers, they really only want to talk about serious stuff. They're very introspective, and they want to talk about serious stuff. So walking up to them, "Hey, John, how you doing?" Good. What's going on? How's the family today? That's the first part, family. First part of the Ford method. Let's talk about your family. How's your family doing? Are they having a good day today? Sure. How are they making out with COVID? And you just have that conversation. It's a natural conversation, right? But in the conversation, you want to start getting a little deeper in your questionings. So how's the family? Good. How are they making out with COVID? Are you teaching them at home? Are they starting to feel a little antsy? Are they missing their friends? Whatever that conversation is, maybe it's not kids, maybe it's grandparents, maybe it's adults, but get involved with the family. Okay, a little bit of empathy into the family, and then once you start hearing about it, you're listening well for a buyer signal, a selling signal. Well, you know what, Greg? We're doing great. The kids are getting on my nerves. There's no place to go. Right? We got the 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, but all we have is the living room. We've actually turned our garage into a classroom, but that's going to get hot. Wow, really? That is pretty serious. You got kids in the garage doing their homework. Where else are they playing? Where's the TV? Where's the entertainment? We don't have it. And the question from your side of the table is pretty much, well, let me ask you a question. What would it look like if you did have that 4th bedroom? And let them answer the question. Right? Wow, that would be great. I would love a 4th bedroom. That would solve so many problems over the next year or 2 years since we've been there. And then you get into keep going deeper and deeper into questions. Have you ever thought about moving? Well, Greg, there's no houses on the market. What if I could find you a house on the market? How would that impact your family? You see, every question you're asking them, you're asking for an answer, something other than a yes or no answer. We call them open-ended questions. Okay. If you ask them, do you want to move? No. It doesn't get you anywhere. If you say, what does it look like if you did move into a bigger house? How would that impact your daily activities? And they would go, whoa, are you kidding me? That is fantastic. I would love it. If you had the opportunity, where would you move to? Well, I like the Dunes West area. I like Somerville. Let them start getting emotionally involved in the question, because we all know that emotions sell. And that's where we go with our conversations, into emotion, into pain, into what we call future present. What would it look like if, right? You're looking ahead. You're looking ahead. You're taking them out of a pain situation and you're putting them into a positive future. What would it look like if you were to move to Dunes West? How would that impact you? Keep those in mind. If you were to move, where would be your ideal location? That's another great one. Just keep digging deeper. So you move from Ford, family. The second one down is occupation. How do you get into a real estate conversation about occupation? So, Joan, how's Bob doing? Oh, Bob's great. He's really good. You've been out in Dunes West for years, man. I mean, you were out there like before the traffic started, weren't you? Yeah, we've been there for 25 years. I remember when 41 was just, you could get on 41 and shoot over to Clements Ferry Road and be over at Daniel Island in 5-6 minutes. Now it takes like 35 minutes. Oh, wow. Is Bob still working up by the airport? Yeah, he is. It's taking him about an hour and a half to get to work. I bet you Bob likes that, doesn't he? No, actually, he doesn't. Well, what would it look like if you lived closer to work? What would it look like if Bob's commute was like 30 minutes and you had the same type of house and the same lifestyle around you? Well, that would be great, but I don't know if we can afford it. Well, if you could afford it, where would you move to? Just keep asking those questions so you can get into the occupation. You ask him how he's doing, when's he going to retire, whatever it takes to get into that occupation conversation. Now, let me just clarify this. If you're doing a family, if you're doing Ford, not every one of these has to be answered by a real estate question. What you're doing is you're going down the list looking for a real estate question. So if you're dealing with family and they're interacting with you on the family subject, keep it a family. You don't need to go into occupation, recreation, and dreams unless you strike out on family. So we deal with occupation, and it's about what would it look like if you would move, if Bob got a better job, a longer job, if he had to commute further, anything to do with the occupation side of it. Listen for what they're telling you. Bob's getting older. Bob's ready to retire in a year. Really? What are you going to do when Bob retires? What are your plans? Now you're asking about what are you going to do? And that comes out with dreams and occupation. But you're just uncovering. You're getting a deeper conversation. Everybody's got one of these in their minds. Okay? Everybody is thinking about what's the next step in my life. And that's what you want to get out of this. On the recreation side, are you guys still boating? If you know the person, you pick out, are they golfers? Are they boaters? Do they like to watch their kids? Do they camp? Do they travel? If you know them, that's an easy question. That's an easy conversation. How was your last trip out? Where did you go? What did you do? Wow, isn't that great? What would happen if you spent more time recreating, if you were closer to the water? What would happen? Excuse me. What would happen if live TV? What would happen if you found a house within your budget with a dock? How would that go? Would you be interested? Oh, heck yeah, we'd be interested, especially in what's your budget? Where do you see your budget being? Let them tell you. Get the emotion going. Get the future present, right? Get that going on. Get it coming in and making them think and see and paint that picture. Be a Picasso. Paint that picture of what's going on there, of what it would look like if they did go forward with a real estate deal. And the final one is dreams. Dreams are all about, what are you going to do? What is your 5, 10, 15, 20-year plan, depending on how old they are, right? If they're newly married, and they're talking about, well, we're going to have kids someday. My answer there is normally, that's great. If and when you do have kids, do you have a school district picked out? Where would that school? What would the house look like? Right. Again, you're going to the future. You want to paint a picture in their mind. Get them emotionally involved with what the future looks like. A kid. If you have a kid today, if you tell me today you're planning on kids, think about this. You have about 7 years before you have to worry about schools. So that first 5 years, why don't we put you, the strategy is, why don't we do this, put you in a smaller place, make that into a rental. After 5 years, we'll buy another house and build that dream for them, build the wealth dream for them. There's always a dream that you can build, and that's what we are. We're storytellers. We open people's minds, and every question you ask them, you're opening their mind to get them to think bigger, longer, and more emotionally. Okay, it's not all about what's the lowest rate. It's about what I want to do, what I want my life to look like. And that's where Ford comes in real well. So how does this relate to finding a listing? Every time you build a dream in somebody's mind, they have to let go of something. And that's usually their house if you're in real estate. So if I could find you, now I know there's no houses out there right now, but if I could find you the right house in the right location for the right amount of money, would you consider selling your home? And stop. Don't answer that question for them. Would you consider selling your home? Let them answer. And I can guarantee you that one of the top things coming out of their mouths is, if I get the right price, I would. Well, what's the right price? Whatever the number is. So if we can get that number, you'd be willing to go and look at homes? Yeah, I would love to. Super. And that's where we come into the next part of this. Okay. So we used the Ford method. We went with a deeper questions. That's number 3. Right? We went deeper questions and listen for the answers. You have to be a good listener. Keep your mouth shut. You have to be a good listener. Don't anticipate their answers. Listen for their answers. It's the most important part. You're looking for their pain. You're looking to see where they want to go, what they want to do, and how you can help them. That's all this is about. How can you help them find their dreams? They want it. They just don't know how to get there. That's the path, how you can help them. So at the end of these conversations, and keep track of this all in your mind, at the end of these conversations, you want to ask permission. You want to ask permission to set up an exploratory search. Hey, Joan, would you mind if I took the liberty of sending you a few homes that I think might fit your wishes, what you're dreaming about? Oh, Greg, it's too early. And I get that. It's too early, Joan. Not a problem. I understand where you're coming from, and I fully understand it. But what would it hurt? Wouldn't you like to see what's out there? And they usually say yes. Okay. You put them on, you get their information. I'm not going to go through all the information. Good. Give me a good email that you use. What's a good email for you that you use? Do you want anybody else on there? You want Bob on there? No, Bob can be on there. Yeah. Try to get Bob on there because it takes 2 to buy and sell the house if they're married. Try to get Bob on there. Ask permission to share a few homes or to follow up. So you mind if I follow up next week? I mean, these are basic questions that you should be asking everybody anyway. You mind if I follow up next week? Yes, that's fine. You can follow up. We go one step further to keep them engaged. Okay, so you had that conversation at the party, at the park, at the kids' soccer game. How do you keep that conversation going? Well, we use an 8x8, which means that we come home, everything goes in our contact resource management, and then we start sending them an email. Hey, good to see you the other day. Pick up a phone. Good to see you the other day. Just wanted to clarify some stuff. You've got to start talking to these people to keep them engaged. You have to send them product to keep them engaged. Even if it means that you need to go, if they said, I want to be on the water with a boat lift, if you need to go back into MLS and look at the expireds that had boat lifts, I don't care what price they are, go show them something with a boat lift. Doesn't matter what the price is, right? Go show them something with a boat lift. Keep them engaged. Keep the dream alive, because it's something they want. It's not what you want. It's you're helping them. You're just uncovering and unraveling. You're peeling the onion, right? You're peeling the onion. Keep them engaged. My notes here, and I've done this before, but I have to have notes, obviously. Emotion sells. Brighter futures, less pain, more pleasures. Words matter and energy matters. Years ago, I had a salesperson I was mentoring at the time, and I just couldn't get through to them. They were throwing a roadblock up everywhere we went. Roadblock. What if? And they kept throwing this. They'd never sell the house because they were always throwing a roadblock in front of them. What if? Well, let's not make a story until we get to the book. You don't know what's inside that book. Open the book up. Let's get them going. Let's get them excited about wanting to buy a house, wanting to sell a house. And then we worry about what ifs. Because personally, I don't worry about what ifs. I worry about what's happening now. There's nothing I can do about a what if. I mean, there are steps that we take to make sure there aren't that many what ifs, but there's nothing I'm going to do if you're giving me semantics all day. I can't argue semantics. All I can say is, trust me, I've been through it before, and we can handle anything that comes our way, because there's no surprises in real estate. Okay, there's no surprises in real estate. So get out there, meet people, use the Ford method, use questions that are open-ended. Okay, always use open-ended questions. What, who, how, when. Don't ask why. Don't ask why does that make you. Think about it. It's a little pet peeve of mine. Why says, why'd you do that? What, now come out with what made you think like that? What made you act like that? It's a different connotation, different language. Use words, use embedded commands. Things like, so like me, you're going to go out and blah, hire me and I'll help you. These are embedded commands. We have a list of them. If you want to drop your email in the chat, we'd be happy to send them to you, and we'll get them out to you ASAP. I just have to dig them up. They're somewhere in there. So leave your email in there. What else can I help you with? Anybody got any questions? We're here all day long. I hope everybody's being prosperous. You got deals coming in. Is there anything I can help you with on a deal? If you need anything during the week for a deal, drop me an email at greg@poweronwardmastermind.com. Happy to help you. Happy to walk you through it. I am not your attorney, but if you got a little snafu about getting a deal done or something like that, I'll be happy to help you. All right. No comments, no questions. We're out of here. Greg Flanagan, Fridays with Flanagan, every day, every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And all you have to do is go in. It's on YouTube, a couple of Facebook groups. We do run a coaching program, and that's also at poweronwardmastermind.com. No S, just poweronwardmastermind.com. And happy to help you out. Good to see you, Sarah. Congratulations. All right. We'll see you next week. We look during the week for a great interview I did. It's going to be on our private group. If you're on the Power Onward private group, we're going to put it there with Jessica Lucas, superstar, solo agent. We're all about solo agents here. And I believe solo agents are going to be the future. It's the only way you're going to make money in real estate. The big companies are coming in. They're going to start hiring people by the hour. And, you know, it's going to become a commodity. You want to go see a house, you're going to get a $24,000 a year person opening the house that has no idea what real estate fiduciary and value is. Okay, the more you know, the more you learn, the more you earn, the more you know, the more you're going to grow. Okay, so hope to see you soon. And we're out of here.